Fan230 here, and today we're going to be reviewing Evisceration Plague by Cannibal Corpse. Now, one thing to say about this album is that this is actually the first album I ever bought from this band, ever. Got around the time it first came out. The year it came out was 2009. But that's just one thing I wanted to point out, just a little fact. Anyway, now once again, this album is produced by Eric Rutan. We had the same lineup that was on Kill. I'm so impressed. It's still about the same as it was on Kill, but it's still like the productions are pretty much the same. And the guitars sound really tight and it sound very technical. There's on the bonus DVD of Evisceration Plague. Eric Rutan one thing he notices is intonation. He wanted to make sure all the guitars and stuff were tuned. In fact, but yeah, the guitars sound pretty awesome on this album. The drumming from Paul Bezerkowitz. It sounds very impressive. It sounds very pounding. And the bass, well, that's just my little nitpick about this album is the bass. I think it's a little bit lower. Like when this album is mixed, I think the bass was mixed too low. That's just my little minor nitpick. It's just my opinion. In fact, most of this album was actually written by Alex Webster, so this feels like, to me, in my opinion, Alex Webster's album. He wrote pretty much most of the songs on this album. So yeah, that's just me. But let's go talk about this album and the artwork. It's another one which is a bit weird. Has like weird zombies and stuff, sort of like a plague. Hence the title, Evisceration Plague. That's just, the artwork's pretty good. It's better than Kill, in my opinion. But enough talk. Let's talk about this album. Now, the album opens up with Priests of Sodom, which is a damn good opener. Just very impressive. A great scream from George Fisher in the beginning. His singing sounds pretty awesome on this album. It's great. Priests of Sodom is a good way to start this album off. Scalding Hail, the next song. The fast one, the shortest song on the album, it's like 1 minute and 46 seconds long. It's very impressive song. I like how Corpse Grinder sings. I always keep saying that how Corpse Grinder sings and pronounces his words properly throughout. When he sings super fast, just very mind-boggling and very impressive. I still think Corpse Grinder is one of the best death metal singers in history. Period. Next song is called To Decompose, which feels like it goes sort of like if there's a fast part and a slow part. It has sort of like different speeds sort of different. It's that the song is going in, so it goes fast and slow and fast. It's very impressive, very impressive. Next song is called A Cauldron of Hate, which has sort of the guitars of that song sound very good, and there's a bit of a slow part in that song. It's a pretty good song. Then next song is called Beheading and Burning, which is the second fastest song on this album. It's around little over 2 minutes. It's a pretty good song. It's very, very impressive. I don't know why, it just is, in my opinion. Next song is called Evidence in the Furnace, which has one of the highlights of Paul Bezerkowitz. Has some really fast drumming, and the lyrics on that song sound pretty good. Next song is called Carnivorous Swarm. Pretty much a very technical type song, just the way that Pat O'Brien and Rob Barrett play. Mainly Pat, he has really just on his left hand, just wow. Next song is the title track of the album, Evisceration Plague, which has pretty much a groove in there. It's sort of a little bit slower, but it's still a damn good song. It's a very good title track. This is so far the last album to have a title track, because the next album, Torture, doesn't. Yeah. And back to the album. Next song is called Shatter Their Bones. It sounds very creepy, a very creepy-ish vibe, in my opinion. It has some great singing from Corpse Grinder. Next song is called Carrion Sculpted Entity, which is a good song. Then we get to the next song called Unnatural, which is a good song title because that pretty much describes all of Cannibal Corpse's song titles. Unnatural. But anyway, it's a very fast song. It's just right in your face. It just pounds your song. Now the final song on the album is called Skewered from Ear to Eye, which very has a groove song. In fact, I could actually hear the bass on that album a little bit. I feel like on the other songs I don't think I can at all, but the bass, you can actually hear the bass on that song, which is pretty good. Now overall, Evisceration Plague's a good album. One of my personal favorite albums from this band. So anyway, I'm going to give Evisceration Plague by Cannibal Corpse an 8.5 out of 10. Later guys, and keep it metal.